What's up? We're live. We're live.
We're live.
Back here at the It's All About the Barbecue studio right now today. So that's good. That's actually pretty good.
At the what?
It's All About the Barbecue studio. On my side. I'm back at the but
I'm at the Barbecue Blackstone Beer Studio. I thought it was the It's All About the Barbecue Blackstone Beer Studio, or that's the network or whatever. It changes just depending on whatever mood.
You're coming from your side. I'm coming from my side, and we'll get there in the middle.
But we don't work together. We don't. We're not a team.
No. There's no, as Nathan was saying, there's no energy waves.
Oh, there's definitely some energy.
No energy waves
working in sync. There's definitely some energy. That's right. Anyway,
we got another great show today. We're gonna do a little bit of a little detour in the beginning, but as you can see up in the corner up there somewhere, do I got the right hand up to that? Right?
Yeah, you're right on cue there.
Yeah, right up there, duck fat spray. We're gonna have duck fat spray on, but I do want to bring in, as I always like to do when they are deployed somewhere, and it's kind of being a busy spring. Usually there's not a lot of action until we get to hurricane season. But as we were at the beginning of the month, we were with Skeeter Stone, and I can't remember where we saw him at, but he was at a tornado deployment, and we're going to have Skeeter on again from Operation Barbecue Relief, and he is now in Rogers, Arkansas. They're also deployed in Texas, so it's been a busy spring for weather and Operation Barbecue Relief. So if you get a chance, they're doing a little bit more than they've had to do this early in the season. So if you can make a donation, please do that if you can. There it is, operationbbqrelief.org. And if you're interested in signing up to be a volunteer, we would love to do that. Skeeter, how's it going, buddy? This is the second time within 3 weeks or so that you're on the move.
It is, and you nailed it. So the tornado season has been pretty strong so far. We've been in Texas, Oklahoma, Nebraska, and now here we are in Arkansas. And Rogers, we're seeing a lot of devastation here. But once again, not to over talk about this, but the community help in itself has been amazing here. Seeing the turnout of our first-time volunteers that volunteered because their neighbors were hit. They see the food going out. They see that one hot meal that matters, and they want to join OBR. Volunteer organization has been great. It's been great to see.
That's awesome.
Now, are you guys looking for are you doing mostly local volunteers for this one? I know my friend Luke Chalmers messaged me earlier, and he was actually I got some of the pictures on there. He was sending me pictures of his parents' house because he was from Rogers, and he was like, he's willing to help if they need help. I don't know what their needs are and what they're looking for, because I know some of the smaller stuff. This is Luke's parents' house. Just devastating that. And tornadoes are weird. It's as we talked about in the last one. It's like you'll get a lot of areas that look like this, and then a couple blocks over, everybody's absolutely perfectly fine. Obviously, just without probably power and stuff like that. But you're saying they're still mostly looking for local volunteers.
That's correct, and we've had a great turnout with the local volunteers, and also we've got some great partners down here. As we're in Arkansas, so we've got some folks from our sponsors and some of our other partners that have really stepped out in droves to help us out down here. So far we've served about 4,000 meals. And as we're looking right now, we're about 15,000 folks without power still. And after speaking with the power company today and the powers that be, it looks like a lot of those are expected to be back on in the next couple of days. So we hope to get the community stood up and fed and the power back on for them so they can stand alone.
That's pretty cool. How many meals are you guys busting out in a day?
We're right now we're ramped up to about 1,000 a day. And so we've got a couple feeding locations left. Tomorrow we're going to reassess and see where the power is and see where the community overall stands. As we don't want to stay too long and hurt the community, but we got to make sure the people that need the help are getting the help they need.
Can we look around? You got any smokers near you, or you're just by the truck?
Yeah, just by the truck right now. We've got things on at the cook site just a couple miles down the road for tomorrow. Tomorrow's pork loin and a side, and look forward to getting those 1,000 meals out tomorrow.
Pork loins are tough. Those are a tough one. You got to slice those. Every single one has to be sliced in little slices about like that big. You got to get like 25 slices out of each tenderloin.
That's right.
It's not as
No,
easy.
it's not like a smash burger thickness. Just a
No, it's actually like that big. It's so much easier to do the pulled pork. You just throw it in the chopper and away it goes. Yeah. So
it is.
Yeah.
So do you guys have any idea of when you're thinking you might be pulling out of there?
We're going to reassess tomorrow, but we look to hopefully sometime the next couple of days, to see where we're at. And, it's tough. It's a balancing act, and we're definitely seeing a need. I mean, we've got people lined up before we open the smoker and start processing. So we're excited to feed the rest of the folks that need help, and with our local partners, give them the other things they need. We've got some great partners on ground providing showers, laundry services, different things that it's kind of a one-stop shop for us here for those folks who need it.
What's where are you guys dropping off at? I'm assuming that nobody there is going to be watching the show tonight, but somebody that knows somebody there might be able to get a hold of them. Where's the drop-off site that you're, or the distribution area?
So twofold there. Our cook site, we've had some great partners here. If I can mention it, Wright's Brothers Barbecue has been amazing down here. They've really worked well with us and been a good piece for the community to step up and help us out when we first needed those first meals out and throughout. And we're going to be serving at the local Walmart here in Rogers tomorrow. And that's where we've got some other partners there working. And we've got a great turnout of volunteers from Walmart and Sam's Club.
Nice. So if anybody knows anybody that's in the Rogers area, that the Walmart there in Rogers is where they're going to be handing out. You can always probably go to operationbarbecuerelief.org. Or you can probably go on Facebook, but I think their Facebook probably gets updated a little bit more than their website. But you probably go to either or. Facebook's probably a little better one. They do a lot of good job of posting where the drop-off sites are. So if you know anybody that's in that area that's affected and that they're looking for meals, you can find all that information on there. Where are you guys at in Texas? Because this is probably like the biggest year I can remember with multiple deployments. Usually we're just like one tornado, or it's like one massive deployment for a hurricane. But this year we've had a bunch of, it seems like we got a bunch of double deployments.
We do. So in Texas, at first, the floods in Houston brought us down there the first time. And now we're in Richardson, Texas. And again, they're looking at some strong weather tonight. So the best, we're hoping for the best for them tonight. And we'll reassess that tomorrow too and see how long. But if you're down, if you know somebody, you're watching and you know somebody down in Richardson that's local, near that area, that go to obr.org. If it's a monetary donation, great. If it's sign up for volunteer, even if you can't make it this trip, whether it be Rogers or Richardson, sign up as a volunteer and we'll certainly send you those media posts and those alerts when there's something in your area that they could respond to.
Yeah, it's a great time to volunteer. It's very rewarding, and it's OBR does take care of its volunteers very well. So, Skeeter, we'll let you get back to your work, and thanks for coming on again. Thanks again for taking time out and doing what you're doing, and tell all the volunteers thank you for their service, I guess. But thank you for volunteering and making those meals. And just so everybody knows, I know Skeeter mentioned 1,000 meals. It does sound like a lot of meals. I'm not belittling that it's not a lot of meals, but just so you know, OBR has the capacity, if they needed to, that they could probably do 50,000 meals in a day. So it sounds like a lot, and I know the volunteers are working really hard, but let me tell you, we have the capacity to ramp it up if we needed to. So just so everybody knows that we're there to help, and we can handle this situation and even more. So
absolutely. Thanks so much for having me. We appreciate it. And we appreciate all you do for OBR as well.
Thank you very much. Thanks, Skeeter.
Thanks, Skeeter.
Thank you. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
So that was Skeeter with Operation Barbecue Relief. They are down in Rogers, Arkansas right now. And then they're also in, I believe he said Richardson, Texas, taking care of some tornado relief down there. So if you get a chance, go to operationbbqrelief.org. Ryan's got it right there on the screen. Make a donation. It could be $1 would be good enough, because they've gone through a lot of deployments early in the spring, and that's they're a great organization and they're doing a great job. They get on the ground fast to be making meals for those people that are affected by these storms. Very busy tornado season this year. I don't think I've seen this many tornado deployments in a long time. So that's it.
Yeah. Unfortunate, but I mean, it's great to that we have an organization like that can go out and help as much as they're doing.
Exactly. So everybody take care. and hope everybody down there is doing the best they can, and hopefully the power and everything. Once the power gets back on, that usually helps a little bit. But they'll get everything straightened away down there. So those of you that are also volunteering that are in Storm's way tonight, please be safe and take all precautions that you need to. So with that, we're going to move on to one of my really good friends in barbecue. I've been dealing with this guest for a couple number of years. I don't even know how many years, but probably one of the more, when it came out, probably one of the more unusual products that you would think you would ever see. Duck fat in a spray can. I never would have thought of doing anything like that, but a good friend
was like Steve Fat though out there.
Steve Fat in a can, Steve Fat in a spray, right?
Yes. That might go in a tub.
He does a tubs of fat too, so it's not just spray. So, but he's come out with some new products, and I always like to see what he's got working on in the mill. But let's bring on my good friend Dennis from Cornhusker Products, the makers of duck fat spray. Hey, Dennis.
Hi, all.
Welcome to the show. How are we doing this evening?
We're doing great. And I just want to say something about Skeeter and the OBR is he mentioned 3 weeks ago there in Nebraska. They're in our town, and we lost hundreds and hundreds of homes. People completely lost their homes. And a lot of injuries, and they came up. And I think they worked with Blaine over at Porky Butts. And
yes.
And really did a great job. And we got hammered pretty good, and I was sure taking some licks lately too. So anyway, much appreciated. So hopefully everybody can help them any way they can.
Does it seem like a busier tornado season? I mean, you're in Nebraska. I mean,
I've been in the worst of the worst. I mean, when I in 1980 and just got out of high school, and one hit Grand Island, Nebraska, and leveled thousands of homes, and we lost I think 5 people. And I think there were 7 tornadoes with the F5 in there in our town at the same time, in a town of 40,000 people. So, in the building I was in was completely destroyed and flattened in a grocery store where I was working at. So, yeah, it's this season now, after kind of a lull for several years in the Midwest, it kind of seemed like that it's really picked up this year. I mean, we've had multiple sirens go off, and we had a pretty good line go through here earlier today that looked really suspect, but I think we just ended up with a bunch more rain that we could probably take a little break from, but we'll be wanting here in a month or two, I'm sure.
Yeah, right. You'll be begging for
all the farmers. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But anyway, hopefully it'll settle down.
Did you have something to say, Ryan?
No, I said just the rain, nothing else with it.
Nothing. Yeah, we don't want anything. Just rain.
Rain from about midnight till about 4 a.m, a couple inches a week. We'll be perfect here.
Sunshine and rainbows for the rest of the day.
Yep.
So Dennis has been a guest of mine a couple times. Actually, you were one of the first couple that I did with live from the barbecue department at Wanamaker's, and then I think you were also show 100. I think of that show.
I believe I was. Yeah.
Yeah, because I tried to go back to see who was some of my first guests, and you were one of them. So for those people that are watching that different art, how did you, again, I always bring up the question because to me, I don't understand where the concept comes from that somebody thinks that we're going to put duck fat in a spray can.
Well, I just, it literally was, it's sometimes better to be lucky than good. And that's exactly what happened. 8 or 9 years ago, drinking beer with your buddies and out on the patio and barbecuing or grilling and cooking. And somebody brought up the use of duck fat and how, you got to get some duck fat and cook with it. And I'd heard of duck fat and was familiar kind of with duck fat confit. Some of those things, I'd never had it. And so we were buying beef tallow for a different product that we were producing, a chili dog sauce for some cafes that we operated. And anyway, I got a tub of duck fat, cooked with it, started doing a little online research on it. The trend was really, because I thought, I'm going to put this in a tub or a jar, and I'm going to sell it because I had a source for duck fat too. And I thought, gosh, I was looking at it, setting it at room temperature, and I was like, it's liquid. And I thought, wouldn't that be awesome to have a spray? And so I started researching the whole spray industry, and first I looked at doing a traditional aerosol, and that was mixing lithocins and glycol and different things within the actual product to make it all work in traditional aerosol. And then I stumbled upon a bag on valve, which essentially is a bag of duck fat hanging inside that can, surrounded with clean compressed air. So there's no propellants. It's completely 100% duck fat that comes out, and it sees no light or oxygen or moisture the whole time it's in there. So it's almost like a one of those cornerstones on a building that you put stuff in. I mean, it'll keep it literally won't go bad on you almost. And as long as it's warm enough, it should spray, unless, there's not enough pressure in the can. And we've had some faulty cans over the years, and we try to getting better at that all the time, I think. And we certainly take care of anybody who's had to go through that happily, as well as like you and our retailers. And anyway, that's how it just started. And then the barbecue world is what I guess stumbled upon me. My first goal, I have a pretty extensive grocery and food broker background, and my dad was a grocery buyer for a large wholesaler retailer in grocery for most of his life, 40 years or so. And so I thought that'd be the channel that we'd go in, but it was kind of crazy. And I can't even remember exactly how that happened, but the barbecue channel is what found us, and it just grew from there. And then it was, getting into stores like you and independents, and then the barbecue stores and meat markets. And that's really, it was the independent stores that really kind of raised us and brought us to where we are today. And we're so thankful for that. And I met so many great people in that industry that I would have never met if I would have been strictly in the grocery channel. So
right.
That's kind of where we're at.
And then you met Steve too. I mean, some people, all those great people you met, and then there's Steve.
There's Steve.
You got to deal with all of it. So no, he's been great. Super supporter, super supporter. So
yeah, C. Ryan, super supportive.
Yeah, so much appreciated.
Oh. Well, you know what, Dennis is he's probably, like anybody who creates a product, it's their baby, and it's their kid, it's their child. They brought it from nothing to where it is today. But anybody who is really good is willing to take criticism and ideas, and Dennis and I have always had that relationship where he can always ask me something. I'll give him an honest answer, and he's not gonna, get all butthurt that I said something bad about something, or I can come up and say, hey, did you guys ever try this type of thing? And, so it's, and that's the great thing. If you can get a relationship like that, is to be able to get honest feedback. And that's what I always look for when I send things out for people to try, is I want somebody that's going to tell me that it stinks. You know what I mean? I don't want somebody just to say like, oh, he gave this to me for nothing, I got to say I like it. No, I want to honestly know what it is. Cause
if you fall in love with your idea to the point that it blinds you of the facts and different things, you're probably, unless you're just so lucky, you're not going to get very far. So you really have to take those criticisms and ideas. And a lot of the products that we have on the market now are other people's ideas that were given to me, like, oh, you should do this or you should do that. And it's what kind of makes a food company like us. And now we're in 4 or 5 countries and all 48 states and 10,000 stores. So it's really grown.
That's awesome. And then it's not only the duck fat. I mean, now you've come out with, I don't know if I'm jumping ahead of your little.
No, go ahead, Ryan. Go ahead, Ryan.
I know of the duck fat. This is the first time that I'm hearing. Now there's the balsamic vinegar spray.
Yeah, I'm curious of where that. Again, putting duck fat in a spray, but I'm curious now about the balsamic. Where did that idea come from?
Well, that idea came from, I was in New York about a year ago, and I was at the Fancy Food Show, and I'd never been to this show before, and it's a trip. I mean, this thing is monster. It was at the Javits Center, and I got a booth and just rolled the dice, and I went there, and it was every kind of, well, it was so much barbecue too and different things like that, but it was every kind of food you could ever imagine. And it was just real eye opener. And a gentleman, a really nice guy, younger guy than me, but that's most people, came up to my booth, and we were just talking, and he was with this company out of Italy, and they're not his family, but the company he worked for, the family was 100-year-old balsamic vinegar company. And he said, have you ever thought about doing a vinegar spray? I said, not until now. And so, and I literally didn't, but I started looking at balsamic, and oh my gosh, the trend is our friend as far as usage. It's a really clean product. It has a really long shelf life. They have balsamic that they transfer from barrel to barrel. It's almost like a culture that starts. And it, some of it's 50, 70 years old. And that's how they get, these really expensive balsamics. And like ours is an excellent balsamic out of Medina, Italy. So I was like, there's not a lot of balsamic sprays on the market. I mean, very, very limited. And I started using it and got balsamic, and I started using it on the smoker and the grill. Not like I used the duck fat, but it's almost like the 1-2 punch. So I start with the duck fat as a binder, whether I'm doing a pork chop, or a steak, or burgers, or whatever, or veggies, roasted veggies, or whatever on the grill. So I start with my duck fat spray, and I was finishing with painting with balsamic. I was like, this stuff is fantastic. And it really is. I mean, it's a different, it's a lot of people just absolutely love balsamic. A lot of them haven't used them maybe in grilled foods yet, but they use it more in salads and bruschetta and some of those things that you see a lot of balsamic drizzle. But this stuff, I'm telling you, it's another layer of flavor that I hadn't really had before, but it's absolutely, it's just wonderful. And so it's really clean. There's no added ingredients. It's, balsamic vinegar is made out of grape must. And even as dark as balsamic is, it's a variety of white grapes that they use. And it's fermented grape must, which is essentially smashed grapes with everything involved. And that's how they make it. And so I put it into the same process as we do with our duck fat spray, as far as bag on valve. And it comes out like a cloud, and it just coats so light and so beautiful. In fact, I coined the phrase Italian mist, because that's what it's like. It's just like a mist, and it just coats beautifully. And so I thought, this is perfect. Do the same size can as my duck fat. It has 10 ounces versus 7 ounces in the duck fat, so it weighs a little more, but it'll fit right on your display, which I know you found out already. And it's got a 3-year shelf life, but that's the minimum. This stuff will last literally forever. But that's kind of how it all started, with somebody else's idea, and then just like, it just kind of opens your eyes when you kind of sometimes get a little tunnel vision going.
See, like my wife can't stand balsamic vinegar. She's like, I don't want nothing to do with it. She can't stand that. Everybody's got their preference, right? So I was actually we were making, I just did some chicken kebabs the other day, and we do those little marinades in the package, and you can just use regular oil or regular vinegar or white distilled vinegar, and then, or the balsamic. Well, actually, she was going to make something else that night. So I was like, well, she's not eating, I'm going to use the balsamic. And it does change the flavor, and I love balsamic. So now that I know that this guy over here has got some, I know where I can go pick some up. So I'm definitely going to have to get some of that.
Yeah, it's going to take us a little while to get a foothold, and I don't think it'll be another duck fat spray necessarily, but I think it has a really nice place, and it's just a great. I look at it as really just a great finish. But I've also taken chicken thighs and sprayed them down good the day before and left them in the fridge, and because a lot of the marinated chicken or balsamic vinegar chicken breast, whatever. A lot of it has to do with marinating it with balsamic. So that light spray on all of it, I left it, and it just creates a little bit of a coating, and it's pretty nice.
Nice.
So the biggest confusion I've had, well, from people shopping it, because I haven't been able to give you feedback yet on the people shopping it.
Yeah.
Is that confusion, because obviously they've known duck fat spray forever.
Yes.
I shouldn't say forever, for whatever, 7-8 years, whatever it is, 6-7 years. I don't even know how long
Yeah.
it is. But
Yeah,
so they see this other can and they're always like, well, how is it? How is it different from the duck fat? Duck fat you can use for,
It's
you
not
can spray
oil.
your pans with, you can spray your pans, you can spray your this,
Right.
you can do your grill grades, but this is more of like a finishing type of
It is
marinating type of
it's
thing.
the finish. It's the finish. And you got garden vegetables will be coming in not too long, especially south of you, for sure, and south of me even sooner than we will be. But once the zucchinis and the crookneck squash and all those different roasting vegetables start coming in, this is like the perfect spray to toss those with even before you grill, but really a great right at the finish on the grill, or if you're roasting in the oven or whatever you're doing, it's like the perfect finish. People ask me, do I use it the same way as duck fat? No, because it's not an oil, and it'll pretty much all cook off unless you marinate with it, right? So I don't think you want, I haven't really did it yet, but I don't know if you want the crusty balsamic at the end of the cook. I'm not sure how that would taste, and maybe it'd be just fine. But I look at it as the 1-2, that start with the duck fat spray and finish with the balsamic, and it'll still kind of work as a binder at the end too for your salt and pepper or whenever you're seasoning to taste. But that's kind of how I look at it.
It's definitely nice that it's a spray too, because I mean normally you're taking a bottle and you're just dumping right on top with your balsamic vinegar, and you get too much, and then it just all sits at the bottom of it.
Yeah,
so.
It really works so much nicer than a drizzle to me, because like you said, you use too much, and to drizzle perfectly, it seems, I don't know about wasteful, but I think the coverage is just so much more better using it like this way. And a lot of people put it on their Caesar salad and different things like that in their salad. This is great for that. We use it at home for salads. We eat a lot of salads, and it works great for that, for sure.
I'm sure Steve will take and spray a little here and there.
Who doesn't want to smell like balsamic?
Right.
I mean,
I
don't know if anybody noticed, but I noticed it right away. He flipped the colors of the cans.
I did, yeah.
So the duck fat spray is yellow with the red collar, and now he made, the balsamic is red with the yellow collar. Yeah, crafty. Good old crafty Dennis came up with. So nobody can mess up the.
Actually, I give a little credit to Vafa, who is a gentleman I met years ago and helped me. And he's a graphic arts guy that works out of his basement out in, I don't know, somewhere south of LA. He's a great guy, just him and his wife, and no kids at home now. And he helped me design that. And so I turned him loose with, we went through a little bit back and forth on the colors, but I think it stands out enough that it's easy to tell the difference, I guess.
Yeah, no, I definitely noticed it from back here. I did see the red and the green caps there. So
yeah, and then we have the purple trays for the retailers too, which will help. And I just got these in literally yesterday. So header boards.
Yeah, I don't know if I have that. Yeah, I didn't get. I got a bunch of. Yeah, see, I got a. Actually, the picture's a little dated because now the top row is
balsamic.
Balsamic. It was actually really nice. Dennis sends a whole bunch of different. Well, maybe I'm special. Maybe he only sent it to me, but
it is.
It is. He sent a couple different shelves that you can. I got one displayed on a grill somewhere with the shelf, and then the other one. And then the other one, I took one of the duck fat shelves off and put the balsamic shelf on. But it'd be nice to have a new header for that. Would be cool too.
Yeah, and I actually have another header, Steve, that'll have a can of duck fat and a can of balsamic. So
I'll wait for that
I
one.
think that's the one I'll send to you. But this is when you get to going so good that you'll bring in another 48 count display of balsamic, then you'll use this one. And I've sold it to you already, so I'm really excited about that.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's and that's it. Like I said, that's been the biggest thing right now is obviously, like you said, everybody's used to the drizzles. They're like, what do you, I don't, it's like you spray it on. I mean, I don't understand what you spray it on. It's balsamic. You spray it on.
Yeah. That's your new catchphrase right there. Just spray it on.
Spray it on. Just spray it on.
Well,
balsamic. Spray it on.
Balsamic, I mean, the duck fat was a pretty big learning curve too.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm pretty sure about 90% of our current users have never, or maybe they had it when they were growing up and they lived on the farm. They had some duck fat that was rendered from roasted duck, but for the most part, a lot of people didn't know much about duck fat, besides maybe the culinary world more so. But the trend was good because it's paleo, keto, and all that good stuff as well. So, yeah.
We just need to get some. You need to, just like the duck fat, you need to get some. Here's a comment. Are you getting comments, Ryan? I'm not getting hardly any comments.
No, there's not a lot. Just we got Roy. It's just dropping in to say hi, and then
I think the newsreel's pretty busy tonight. I think.
Oh, Devon. Is that your wife or daughter or something, or Devon? Who's Devon?
Devon is actually my mother, who lives.
Oh, your mother
lives in central Nebraska with her farming husband, and so she's a great supporter, obviously. So.
Oh, because you know what? I shared it in the duck fat fans, which I'm surprised.
Good, perfect. That's awesome.
But for some reason, the comments aren't showing up here. But she commented, I brushed frozen chicken breasts with corn huskers, Kitchen's beef tallow, and sprinkled with seasoning. Absolutely deluxe. So she's using the beef tallow, which we were just getting ready to mention.
Yeah.
Dennis also does, and again, picture's a little dated. The label's a little changed, but I haven't taken a picture of the new label yet. But he does Wagyu tallow. He does regular beef tallow. That's an older picture too. And then the duck fat in tubs. I carry the Wagyu and the duck fat.
Yeah.
But I got an important question to ask you.
Yeah.
And Ryan, this probably would apply to you a little bit as far as use. Obviously, from a lot of the griddle people now are using the Bacon Up product. To spread on their griddle before they cook with it. At one point, I was buying that tub of pork fat. Different, same, or you get a better flavor from the Bacon Up, or you get a better flavor from the pork fat.
There depends on what flavor you're going for. If you go for the Bacon Up, you're wanting a bacon flavor. If you're using the pork fat that like we sell, it's a rendered pork fat, Berkshire pork. So we use a very good breed of hog, and it's excellent fat. I guess it's a little more neutral with a pork flavor, but that's different than bacon fat. So bacon to me is kind of a great one for doing the hash browns in the morning, the Bacon Up, and frying the egg and some of those things. And people use it a lot of different ways. We love it. Well, I love Bacon Up, and the people who run that and have started that are really good people, and met them several times. And anyway, they're just different. That's a different product than the pork lard per se. And ours is not bleached. It's not over processed like maybe the lard you'd buy in the grocery store, sitting there in a blue box or whatever, a little square oily looking box or something, or one of those tubs. This is less refined. This is essentially ground pork fat that's cooked and impurities taken out, and that's it, and strained, and it's really clean. So, and pork fat's really, really nice for braising too. It's really nice for that, especially if you're doing a ham or if you're doing pork shoulder. A lot of people don't even realize that. I know it's a pork shoulder, but it just creates a wonderful char, and it's really nice for that.
You said you're using Berkshire.
Oh, we are. Yeah.
Nice, excellent quality fat. Like this is Berkshire here. It's excellent quality.
Yeah. Well,
don't know if it's excellent quality, but there's a lot of it. Jeez Louises. Oh, now look at you, bleached me out. I made fun of you. I got in trouble. I got bleached out.
That's what you get.
Well, there's a thing for you, Dennis. I mean, if you're looking for another, I know we've talked about, other things to spray in the can, but you get bacon fat in a can.
I realize.
Dennis is like, I'm already 2 steps ahead of you. I know that. Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's
it's got the yellow cap.
Yeah. Yeah. So, we have a lot of things too, and we're working on tallow spray. I realize there's one out there.
Yep.
And I don't disparage anybody's product, but we're trying to make one that's quite a bit different than that. The one thing I noticed about that product is that you can spray it into a cap and set it on the counter. It'll never set up. And I've never found a beef tallow that will do that unless it's went through a centrifuge or enterification, I believe is what they call it. I think I have that word maybe a little bit off, but it's a different cooking process, and they take different things out of the beef fat. And so it doesn't really smell like anything. It's pretty neutral. And so we're trying to do a more pure beef tallow, which is going to be infused with another very clean oil number one, to keep it liquid and to make it sprayable and still retain the properties of beef tallow and the nutrients and all that good stuff. So we are working on some blends too, for sure. Yep. That's always in the works. And as well as working on a wing spray, which will be a buffalo, duck fat infused buffalo wing spray. And think about how nice that will be when you're opening the grill, instead of painting those wings or chicken breasts or whatever you're cooking, and you can just hit it quick, close it up, and keep them going. And for the tailgate, I think it'll be a winner. And that's going to be something that hopefully we'll be really close by the end of the year. We'll just kind of see how things go, and we've got some other new SKUs that we need to, get a lot more traction on. That'd be the almonds, our duck fat roasted almonds, and the balsamic spray is a big one. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, so, I was going to get to those, but I don't want to. The buffalo spray. I mean, I'm kind of intrigued by that. That kind of. You're saying with the grilling, I do a lot of Blackstone flat top cooking. So, I mean,
it's perfect
on the Blackstone or flat top, whatever you guys have, are amazing. And I think that would really step it up a notch.
I think so. And I just think even if you're going to do like a hot chicken sandwich or whatever you want to do, it's a different element of that, I think. Yeah. So even if it's a breaded product.
Maybe I got to do that. Maybe that'll be the next thing on the group is, I just do a full series of cooking with the beef tallow or the duck fat or, whatever else is coming out once it comes out.
I need to send you some prototypes. So when we're going through the process.
No, I'd definitely be interested.
That would be perfect. You too,
I wasn't even going there, Steve. I was just trying to.
Steve.
Dennis. He's always begging for in his roundabout way. He's always begging for free products of some kind.
I mean, at least the difference is, yes, when he sends you stuff, Steve, it helps him sell his products and stuff like that. At least if he sent it to me, I'd actually cook with it.
Oh, you're probably right. Well, I would probably use the balsamic spray. I'm gonna have to buy some of that because I really do like balsamic. I'm gonna have to get the can when I get back from vacation and use that to spray around it.
I mean, you're walking by it every day and you haven't bought any yet?
Well, Ryan, I there's a lot of things that have changed in my life, and I'm trying to still figure out how that's all going to occur. And I'm not really low on the A1C scale. So I'm trying to figure out this whole new diet thing. And so I just haven't really bought anything because I just don't know what direction. It's a whole different lifestyle. I haven't had ice cream in 3 or 4 weeks, which is killing me because I'm going to have it on vacation, but it's like my number one staple is ice cream. And that's probably, I went to the doctor and she told me that it was really high. And I said, I have not been a very good practicing diabetic because I've pretty much had probably a pint of ice cream every day or every other day the last 3 or 4 months. So it's not like I've even tried. So so now I got 3 months to lower my A1C, or they're going to put me on medicine, which I can't stand medicine. So
no, I mean, if you talk about that and we go back to the beef tallow, I mean, did you hear about the beef tallow cake that we had recently? I don't know if you've seen that, Dennis.
Oh yeah, Dennis. I never told you about that. Yeah.
Chicago Culinary Kitchen. They treated us when we did our barbecue love tour, and they brought us out a chocolate cake, but instead of using oil, she used beef tallow.
Oh, yeah, very good.
And then the layer in the center, I think was that tallow?
It might have been a cream with the tallow instead of a regular oil that they put into some of those.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
It was a savory cake. It was absolutely.
That's an idea. When you do the Duncan Hines box at home, it asks for like a fourth of a cup of oil. Substitute beef tallow. I think you're onto something there, and that'll be our new marketing pitch for the tallow. And the tallow, I literally buy 10,000 pounds of tallow every month at least, probably. I mean, just raw fat. And we've always got some being processed. And the tallow, since especially with the Wagyu, I buy from my good friend Doug Hassel Cattle Company down in Rusk, Texas. A great guy and great supporter of barbecue world. But anyway, the whole phenomenon with when they take the brisket off and they do the wrap, pouring a cup of that. And thank you, Matt Pittman and others. And I can't even think of the big shot's name down in Texas. It was on the TV all the time back in the day. But he kind of started the whole tallow thing too. But yeah, it's been great. So yeah, the tallow is just exploding. Plus, people are starting to fry with it to cook your fries and some of those things that it's not the unhealthiest thing in the world to do anymore versus a lot of the seed oils. So it's got some definite positive, good omega 6s and 3s and all that good stuff. So
I'm grabbing pictures here of this cake.
It was a really good cake. It was a savory cake, and it had
here's
candy
the outside
bacon
of it, just to give you a little picture of it.
Wow.
But then the inside,
candied bacon on the outside.
Gosh. Oh, it looks like it's a really dense, heavy cake.
Yeah,
but it was probably one of the lightest, fluffiest chocolate cakes I've ever had.
Wow, looks amazing.
It was
perfect. Yeah, it was perfect. Perfect end for a barbecue meal was savory cake.
A treat. I definitely don't want to go too off since I threw the picture up here. We're talking about the almonds. Is this a new product as well too, or I don't know how long this has been out?
Oh, I've had the 7 ounce out. Steve's tried them.
About 2 years. 2 years, I think you said.
A year and a half for sure on the 7 ounce, and then just not too long ago, we now have the 3 ounce.
That's what I have now. I got a couple bags left of the bigger bag, but then we're switching because per
3 ounce.
Dennis recommended
display. Yeah,
it worked out perfect. It kind of fits there with all the gummy bears and everything else that I got hanging in there.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah,
duck fat almonds and with all the candy, and then there's almonds. But it works out. It draws attention.
It's under a $5 retail as well, and
something like that. Yeah.
And the folks at Ozark Mountain Roasters down in North Little Rock. Just really did do a wonderful job for me. I found them, a couple of years ago and started talking, and nice family operation. They do a lot of different nuts, and they have their own lines and do different things, and just a great bunch of people to work with. And they really, I ship them, 5-gallon buckets of the duck fat, and he buys the almonds out of really the best grade of almond you can buy out of California, and they're really delicious, and yeah, so we'll just keep trying little things like this. And
yeah, those are fun.
A nice 3-ounce bag is, a nice little grab and go.
It is totally, and it's
Perfect-
really more
perfect
when you
snack
start eating one. It's really 3 ounces of almonds are more than you think, and you'll probably
Yeah, right.
be sealing it up before you eat them all for sure.
Yeah.
One in each pocket.
There you
One
go.
in each pocket. So just to appease the people out there that might that may get upset by duck fat and stuff like, you're not actually going out and just killing ducks
I'm not.
in the pond. You actually get it. It's
Right.
actually a byproduct of the processing.
Yep, it is. Yeah. No ducks die for their fat.
Well,
Not yet. Not
Yeah.
yet. But anyway, there's enough duck fat for us. And it's a byproduct, and it's a wonderful byproduct, and it's really utilizing the full animal.
Mhm.
Yeah, I've never been that good a shot, and I've hunted plenty of ducks in my lifetime. But anyway, these are humanely raised, pasture, open air raised ducks, and they serve the rest of the world in the eating duck and duck breast and everything else, and I get the golden fat.
The golden
golden-
fat. That's
like the golden goose.
that's what you could call what you showed us earlier, Ryan. The golden fat.
The golden fat.
Except yours is blue today, but
Well, that's like my heart right now.
oh, did I finally hurt your feelings?
No,
I didn't.
I'm happily fed. That's okay.
I can. We know. I can see. So anyway, yeah. So now that I'm
myself up for that one.
yeah, so now that I know this balsamic spray, so that may help my diet out a little bit, because now I can spray
Absolutely.
that stuff on a whole bunch of healthier stuff. So,
And I hate to even say it, but a lot of people put balsamic on their ice cream, and that's a fact. They drizzle it right over the top. Google it; it's crazy. I've never did it, but they do it. Yeah.
Isn't it like a sweet and bitter type of?
Yeah, I guess vinegar. I don't know. I took a shot of balsamic when I got some samples in from the company that I ended up buying from over in Italy, and
Yeah.
don't do that.
I was like,
You'll lose your breath. You'll lose your breath for a little bit. So,
Well, Dennis might not know.
Vinegar.
I'm assuming it's kind of like a shot of Malort. I would assume that's the.
it's pretty tough, but it's just vinegar, man. So
yeah.
anyway, they didn't work so well. But Italian mist, perfect.
Yeah, you might take a little mist spray. There you go.
There you go.
You spray a little. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to do it. I have to open up a can and just let people spray it in their mouth. And
Yeah.
Well, you can put it on all the vegetables that you're going to be eating, Steve. Since all those barbecue classes that we've had where you passed up on the vegetables, now it's time to.
I don't know. I know. Don't even. It's such a disturbing thing.
I'm with you, man. It's always something these days.
I could see, we do a lot of asparagus and stuff like that. I could see that.
It's great for that. We do it all the time. We eat a lot of asparagus. In fact, I finally planted asparagus about 10 years too late. And when we lived in Columbus, Nebraska, in Grand Island, when we moved into the house, there was a 6 by 6 foot area at least that they had a very well established asparagus growth going, and it was amazing. You couldn't cut it fast enough. But it takes a long time to get there. But I planted a few plants, and by golly, they're growing. So
nice. I see a lot of people here just off on the side of the road picking up the wild asparagus.
Oh yeah, I've never did that, but depending on where you live, that's pretty cool too.
I don't know if I'd recognize it if I saw it.
Looks like asparagus.
Well, I don't eat a lot of asparagus, Ryan.
I love asparagus. That's probably one of my favorite vegetables.
Yeah.
Some nice asparagus.
Yeah, I'm with you there too. So,
if you really want to go healthy, you throw it on a pan, drizzle with some oil, and cover it with Parmesan cheese and throw it in the oven.
That's it. You have to, and then hit broil, and we hit broil for a second even. So
yeah.
Are you still doing? I think you mentioned. I think you mentioned in the Wanamaker show when we were doing show 100. Are you still? Can you still do 2 bags with 1 nozzle? I know you had talked about doing.
Yeah, that's
blend type of stuff.
That technology is there, so we're going to see how that might work with something that we do for the infusion part. Probably won't do it with the wing spray. I don't think we need to, since you can essentially get we've figured out a way to do it without doing that, which would be better. It'd be just an easier process for our fillers. And but the double bag is definitely interesting for flavors and what have you. So we'll see.
Well, you could do buffalo and ranch dressing all in 1 can.
Oh, man.
You could spray it. And then you're done.
You're done.
Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be an interesting look.
What, Ryan? I mean,
nothing.
Think of it.
No, I'm trying to be good on the show. So
yes,
today
you're being.
My mother's listening. Remember?
Yes, I'm honing myself in.
Yvonne is tuned in. I hope.
Yeah. Well, I think she knows. Well, she made that comment.
You might have left already.
Well,
I'll hear about that.
Most people see Steve and they leave right away anyways.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
That happens. But
so that's it. So that's it. Nothing else you wanted? Any other? No other top secrets? We covered the Wagyu spray. We got the buffalo spray. We got the anything else that's something totally out of left field that you were thinking of?
I'm kind of piddling around with tallow balm for the skin.
Oh yeah.
That's really getting popular, and so working on one with some jojoba, and some other essential oils and stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, I have access to a lot of tallow, and it's really good tallow. So why not? We'll see.
The Berkshire.
Yeah, there you go.
See, with some balm, I could maybe some beard balm.
That won't be $50 for a little container, but be just as good as whatever you can buy. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, so there might be a whole bunch of new products coming out from Duck Fat Spray. We'll have to. I know you and I had talked about the Wagyu tallow spray, but when somebody first brought it to my attention, first person I called right away was Dennis and said, "Why don't you have this?"
Yeah, we haven't cracked the code on making it sprayable. And I ain't going down that road unless it's definitely sprayable. I don't need another. Hey, my can's not spraying.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that we get this one right, and especially when we're dealing with here's a jar of beef tallow. Okay. There ain't no bubbles going up to the bottom.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the way beef tallow is supposed to be. So the Wagyu is a little softer. For whatever reason, but we're just
still you can't spray it if it's so solid like that. I mean, you gotta.
No, you can't unless you do that. What they did, I'm just guessing, but that's what some of the food scientists I've talked to about it have told me. So I think if we came up with one and it really worked great, it would do great.
Yeah. I agree with you. Yeah. Well, just so you know, I think I did relay the message. I did after I found out Dennis didn't have it and they were kind of working on it, but not in that. I did reach out to them to see how much a can costs because I was also going to let you know how much a can costs like wholesale cost. But they would not sell the spray cans. They would only sell the tubs. And I'm like, well, I already
in the cans. Yeah.
I already got tubs. I already got a source for tubs. I don't need tubs of tallow.
That's kind of what I've heard too, that they're not they like the Amazon play, and that's the only place I've found them so far. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, that's their call.
Anyway, I'm a big Dennis supporter, so I always run things. I don't like that. If someone's been good to you, you don't step on them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If I can get the same thing from Dennis, I'd rather give Dennis the money.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
So
I gotta retire someday.
You and me both, brother. I wish this would take off. I'd be happy doing this all once a week. I'd be fine doing just a show every once a week and
that'd be great.
Be able to make money on tons of
I'm
money.
amazed at people that do that and really do well.
They're out there.
Yeah. They're just not here.
They're just not here. But this is where they started.
Well, I hope so. It's got to do something soon because I'm not getting any younger. But
maybe it's your guest lineup. I'm not as exciting as I used to be. Yeah,
definitely not as co-host this year.
Well, you can't say that. You are probably the. The SCA revolves around duck fat. That's their
Steak Cook-Off Association. Yeah, they.
That's their.
Talk about being adopted. Good Lord, they. I bet 85 or 90% of their members use my spray.
Yeah.
So they've been great, and we try to support them much as we can too. They're quite a group.
So you got to get that on the can. #1 spray in the SCA.
Well, we've thought about that, but some people just most of them.
A lot of people don't know what that. I had an interesting conversation, and I don't know if I mentioned it. I don't think I mentioned it on the show. With Dane Neal was in one time. He's on WGN, and he was in. We were talking about doing. This is when they were hosting a competition out at the Raceway in Joliet here in the Chicago area. And we were talking, and we're talking about this and that, and getting all excited of who's going to be there. And he looks at me, he's like, he said, the funny part is we talk about all these people like Dennis and Heath Riles and Mark Lambert and all these other big barbecue people. He says, the funny thing is, he said, it's a very small bubble that we live in. And he said, you go outside of that bubble and nobody knows who the hell you're talking about.
No.
So that's the thing. You could put SCA on it and it'd be great because all the steak cooks would know exactly what it is. But the average consumer is going to look at it and go, what is?
Well, I think I'm still pretty convinced I could stand out front of just about any grocery store and ask 100 people if they use or have ever heard of duck fat spray, and I'll bet you would be under 10 that would say yes. I bet it would be. I bet you a lot of stores, but the people that are aware of us, our awareness is growing, but we are so far away from really, really being there like a Pam, or whatever. But I'm not ConAgra. I'm never going to be. But it's just you're right. We do live in bubbles for sure.
Yeah, the barbecue bubble isn't as vast as we
would like to think it is.
Those of us that live in it,
That's okay because they know us here.
That's right.
Well, they just don't know what they're missing because I hate to tell you, the barbecue bubble's pretty darn cool.
Yeah,
it's very cool.
That's all I can tell you. And you eat really well. You can't pass that up.
No,
as Ryan can attest to, with the big blue marble there. That wow.
I'm banned from bringing home any more rubs or anything from our trade shows. The few that we go to, our cupboards are bursting over, and I would have never ran across any of these unbelievable Heath Riles and some, all of them, Pittman and all those guys who have just Blues Hog and all that. Nobody even knows the difference. They do. Not when you get outside the barbecue bubble about Blues Hog barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
It's like, there's nothing like even remotely like it that most people have ever tried. Yeah. In my opinion.
But our bubble's cool. We got a cool bubble.
Good bubble.
It's cool.
It's a good bubble.
Even if it's a big blue one.
If it's a big blue one. All right, Ryan, we're at our hour. Dennis worked an extra hour just to talk to us.
I haven't had supper. I even held off supper.
I got to get supper too. I didn't get any supper. I worked until 6:00.
Yeah, I was kind of busy today too, and then we had storms kind of today in the afternoon, but no big deal. Everything kept moving, and I run a very small shop, and I like it that way. So
sometimes that's the best.
It's way the best.
Well, Dennis, it's good to catch up with you again. Thank you for coming on the show, especially to talk about the new product.
Yeah, I really, really appreciate it, Steve and Ryan. Good meeting you, Ryan. And you're on the tester list now.
Yeah, I'll have to get Steve. Steve will send you my address.
That'd be great.
Yeah, we'll connect up and get something going.
His address may look like my address, Dennis, but that's
never mind, Dennis. I'll send you a message direct.
so I can get all these testers.
Now you're all. Yeah, we don't have that much stuff coming down the pipe, but when we do, it's nice to have people who give us, really not positive, but really honest feedback.
Yeah. I get it. So, all right, Dennis, good to see you. Right. I will probably see you in the fall because I will. I will be attending the ACE conference in the fall. So
I got to find a hotel close to the McCormick, and I think we got everything else lined up. I don't know who we're splitting the booth with this year, but should be their 100-year.
It's the 100th year anniversary for
the 100th anniversary, so it's going to be kind of a big deal, and looking forward to it. I don't know if you know Johnny Joseph or not, but
yeah,
Johnny's a good friend of mine.
Is he in the bubble?
Yeah, he's in the bubble.
He's in the bubble.
Okay.
He's one of the OGs of steak cook-offs.
Yeah, he is, but he was with me at the show, and gosh, where were we in the fall? In the fall. Orlando? No, we were in San Antonio.
San Antonio.
Yeah, and then he did the show by himself this spring, and that was great. And hopefully, I can get him to come up and run the booth with me in Chicago too. But it's right during a really busy time, so I'm working on that, and I might have to find somebody else, but it's all good.
That's right. All right. That's right. I'll be there. If you're coming up, I'll reach out to you. If you're coming up, see if I can get you to swing by the store and if you get time.
No, I'd love to. Really would. So thanks, guys. Really appreciate it.
All right. See you, Dennis.
All right. Take care.
Bye. Yeah.
Awesome show again.
Another awesome show. I gotta see.
I don't know what's with. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with this StreamYard thing.
I don't know. We're gonna.
What do you?
Yeah, get rid of that. There we go. Let's see.
Turn your volume down. Well, hold on.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is.
I gotta make sure my sound is down because. I like the time delay.
Hang on, we gotta mute you. You gotta mute one of them.
I don't know. I got the stupid.
I muted you already.
Oh,
you're good. Muted your phone. We're gonna try to. We're just testing stuff out here, guys, to see what works. But now we end the show. We got 4 people, and it's because it's us. Can't be us.
Yeah, it's not.
Nope.
Oh, I got a thumbs up though. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you, Ryan. Maybe it's because you're not on an iPhone.
Maybe that's it. Whatever. I don't get it.
I don't get it either. You know what happened is I think my phone overrid my computer. That's why I'm hearing people talking on there.
We'll just remove that.
Yeah, every time because you're jealous. That's all. You shouldn't be jealous of things, Ryan.
I'm not jealous. I just can't figure it out. Why would it work? Why would the phone make a difference of what it is? It just doesn't make sense.
Maybe it's an iPhone thing. I don't know what to tell you. But it's pretty darn cool. I may start doing all my shows from my phone. So just on random, I can do fireworks.
Well, all right, guys. It's been fun. What do we got? I want to end this here, but I don't know if that's going to end everything.
Well, no, I just swiped out of mine. I just swiped it and turned it off on the phone so that we didn't end it. All right, everybody. It was a great show this week. We had Dennis from Duck Fat Spray, and we checked in with Operation Barbecue Relief down there in Rogers, Arkansas. And We had another great show. The best show that nobody watches. That's the problem with it.
Yes. Well, we're here every Thursday, except for next Thursday.
We're here every Thursday. Well, I don't know. Are you going to have a show next week? Or
I don't know. We're going to see. I reached out to a couple of people. I haven't heard anything back yet. So we'll play it by ear and see how it goes.
Yeah, because I will not be on next week's show. I am heading off to Florida and
He's got to get some ice cream.
I got to get some ice cream. I'm going to visit the mouse and I'm going to go get the ice cream. But the hope is on the way home, I am going to try to swing by the Shed Barbecue and Blues joint in Ocean Springs, Mississippi.
Yeah.
To see Brad and Brooke. Well, hopefully they're there. But if I'm trying not to tell them I'm coming because I figure if I tell them, they're not going to be there. They're going to run away because that's how Ryan would be if I told him I was coming over.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of like what you did to Griddles and Vittles with Nick and Jay. You know, they were coming to the store and you left.
Well, I didn't know. But see, then I didn't know.
That's true. You didn't know.
So anyway,
yeah,
so
guys,
Ryan,
we'll see. We'll see if there's going to be a show next week.
I'll check in and see, and then if maybe when you're having the show, I'll try and sign in again, depending on how noisy it is and all this other stuff. But no, actually Thursday we're doing something, so I won't be able to sign in at all. But that's probably a good thing for you. But
we'll see.
But anyway,
week off might do.
All right. I'm still kind of upset about something's going on with our StreamYard or something's happening because we're not getting a lot of comments or anything like we used to, unless people just don't watch us anymore.
Yeah. All right. Well, shop small, shop local. Be patient. Be kind. And we'll let you know if there's a show next week. If not, we'll see you in 2 weeks.
And just spread the love.
Yes.
All right.
Take care,
see you, everybody. Bye.